Next up, we have Elton Kuah. He's the founder of Enrich Social Media. He's an international e-coach of the Youth Employment Network, a partnership of the United Nations, International Labour Organization, and the World Bank certified Facebook and social media specialist by Social Media Examiner, US co-author of Are You Ready to Be the Next Entrepreneur in Singapore, recipient of the Global Business Mentorship Award 2011 from Deputy Minister of Finance of Malaysia, YB Senator Dato IR, Donald Lim columnist for Entrepreneurs Malaysia, online resource portal and community for entrepreneurs and business owners around Asia. So let's have Elton Kuah next.
All right, just start now, is it? Okay, thank you to ACM for inviting me. This is my first talk in National University of Singapore. So my topic today will be talking about how to be better than Villian. Okay, my first question to you audience is, how many of you watched the movie called Liar Liar by Jim Carrey? Can I have a show of hands, please? So you all know that the movie Jim Carrey does lies a lot, and to his son, right? So that's the story that we're going to share. A little bit of my background of e-coaching. I do e-coaching for currently 2 startups. One in Switzerland. She does a university in Geneva. The other one will be in the Egypt, where she's doing technology tools for connecting founders and also creating social enterprise. And my book got featured by 5 world personalities. I think you see some photos. You have seen Mary with the first pictures. And Mick Foley actually is the one who read my story as well. So if you watch wrestling, that will be the person that you meet. Now, have you been in a scenario? I've been in the business for 3 years in personal life, so I will assume that in some ways or another, you'll find people who actually tries to cheat you, lies, or break your promise. And I will be sharing with you some experiences that I have. So for instance, one case that people wants to feature my articles, keeps on in emails and says, hey, I want to feature you, and I don't do that over a series of 2-3 emails. So I consider that it's this funny person, Rabi, or do I classify them as a breaking promise, right? That's the first impression how I meet a person. If I see you that way, so I have assumed that you're not delivering what you say. So if I don't come here to NUS, I will say I'll break my promise to ACM, so that's not good. Right? And the other experience I have is with my staff online. When I hired somebody from, say, online by Fiverr or maybe from the Elance, I found him as a genuine person, but when I died on YouTube later on, in 2 months later, they actually do hula hula strip dancer who doesn't know internet marketing. Right? And this person actually, he's like a fake ID. You create fake information to enter the country and become a citizen. So you can see that the columns here hold a precious ID that says it's precious. Right? And what is the side effects? Well, I think you first will feel angry and betrayed if this goes on. You lost a lot of sign languages. Foul 4-letter words will be very common. Thirdly, you have a solid sense of lost dollar and cents as well, money. So my goal is to reduce people who cheat, right? If either I screw them or I get even with them, or in general, common sense human being, let's try to be better and work out solutions around it. So here's my experiment that I did in Hong Kong, where we try to create a thing called genuine authenticity and productivity checks, because in these 2 areas, these 2 parts are the ones that is hard to verify whichever things I do my business. So I started this project in Chinese University of Hong Kong. It's MBA students of Asia where they first tested it on the Chinese people in China. So that's the first experiment we run through. We run it with a series of 100 people who tried to think how they try to cheat everyone who meets, or they try to lie around the way. And we devised several ideas around it. We just say that, hey, what's the problem? We say that here's people who can't tell the backgrounds, people who can't tell how it looks like, or whether they can actually do the work that you can. So what happened is we do a definition of matrix. We thought that it's funny, interesting that we do it to test on students, because in the students are country, they like to lie when it comes to job applications. Right? And I as an employer have to spend time verifying who are they to deliver the jobs effectively. And we had a series of devices of matrix that we define as a productivity, genuinity, authenticity, like how good your common sense is. And if I do an experiment, say on you right now, on your left side, if I see your eyes moving on the left, you're accessing the left brains when I ask questions, so I assume you're telling the truth. And if you look at your right eyes, your eyes move to the right and ask questions. And I think you are imagining a creative side of it. And I think that most likely you're lying. So that is my conclusion of my visual experiments. The second part is when I do authenticity checking, I would put a series of 8 lists of authenticity and says how genuinely you are to atone for your past atonement, right? Nobody is perfect in this world, but we want to make it so that everyone is responsible and at least you can go to heaven, you can have a good human being as a whole. So that was the end objective where when people die, they live with their good names, and we want to make sure that our tools help them to achieve that. So we want to spread this initiative around the world. We're using the power of social networks. We started a movement in Hong Kong for this, and soon in sharing here in National University of Singapore, just a brief, crazy ideas that I've done. And since this is the roadmaps that how we're going to do it. And looking forward, we hope that some people who like the visions of reducing unemployment and also join us in our crazy missions here will consider that how this project will help you become a better human being and less pain. So thank you very much.